newborn Diego has tested.
There we are. Okay, so if anyone wants the video links to RPR, email me. Don't forget to email me. Some of you have, some of you haven't, but if you need those training videos and the blog piece, I'd be happy to send that off to you. So again, some of you got it, some of you didn't. And one more time, Benjamin, me and you can clap for them. But for those of you for whom this is your 12th day and you're out of here, I just got to give you a congratulations, y'all. You did it. We're at the end. You're testing out. Just get those 2 transactions finished, get your applications done, and you'll be among the first to get it. We are talking to Texas Realtors Magazine to see if they can highlight the first class to the finish line. So we'll see what happens. And maybe for those of you who are the first few to actually complete the work requirement and then really truly get the designation, they might be highlighting a couple of you as well. So just, keep your fingers crossed and let me know if you're interested, if that turns out to be you. But don't forget, you have those 2 transactions that needed to have begun, or you completed them after you started these classes. Benjamin, even though you started at class 9, it's fine. As long as you didn't start the transaction before you began this series, you're good to go. And that's about it. Don't forget to check your email, spam folder, and then check your Texas Realtors account. If you don't see your certificate, then give me a call or call your board, your association, and let someone know that you don't have your certificate. Some people legitimately didn't get it. I see a few people. Do the transactions? No, they have. Well, I think they do have to close. Someone was asking if listings count. Completed transactions was how it was told to me. So having the listing up, not complete, I don't think it's going to count. Do you have to be active? No. I don't. In a CIE, commercial information exchange. No.
It says something like that on the I'm looking at it on TAR, and when I looked at like where the certification, it has that statement in it. And
that statement does apply for sure to people who have been active in this business for 5 years or more, who let me back up. They can test out. They don't have to take all 12 classes. They can test out if they've been active for 5 years or more and just don't want to go through all this because they've seen it. So if you've been active, can prove you've been active and want to go straight into the exam to get the designation, that was available. CCIMs and SIORs can simply apply for the designation. They don't even have to test out because of their experience levels. So that might have been what you saw. Might have been. If anything is confusing or not clear though, show me what you saw, send me a link to what you saw and we'll make sure we get it cleared up. But that's my understanding. Leases do count. Leases are good. Sales are fine. And yes, the transaction have to have begun. They have to have closed since we started class, and they can go on for as long as 3 years after you finish class, but they can't be anything you closed prior to starting the first day of class. So nothing prior to class works. I think I got everybody else's questions down. And Gail, good luck on the one you're closing today. I know she put that in there privately. Let's go ahead and do some exam review and then kind of get on with our day. And I want to let you know now that you will be given your lunch break as a breakout. So it's up to you if you want to use the lunch session. So I'll set the breakout again for lunch. When we come back, we'll probably do about, if we didn't finish 10, 15 minutes of instruction, we go straight out into the presentations. Gail, you show them you close because your broker is going to have to do a portion of that application to verify you finished your closing. If anybody feels like they want extra documentation, they'll ask for it. So they may just go look at whatever address that you might give, for whatever listings you did to see who are the agents on it, but they'll be able to check it. All that stuff is on texasrealtorswebsite.com, Texas Realtors. We're no longer TAR, we're just TR now, Texas Realtors. Spell it out and put an S on the end. Can you believe I actually saw someone? First of all, I cannot abide by mispronunciation, so realtor drives me insane. How about I saw this the other day on the internet? Take a look in the chat. I saw someone write realtor. I'm like, you don't deserve one of us. You do not. Someone was looking for the help of a realtor. You don't get any help, okay? We're not realtors. So it drives me nuts. How about some review? Let's hit it, my friend.
Did Mish just freeze, or is that just me?
Okay, that was the same thing I was
No,
asking.
she's frozen.
Okay.
I thought it was me too.
But with my eyes looking at the screen for that long.
I think we just lost her.
I just hope she knows she's frozen.
Yeah, I think she has a second screen. I want to say I think the proctors let her know, or I think that's part of what the proctors do. But
She's out. This is when we get up and play and right on the chalkboard.
pretty much, turn all of our desks backwards.
Does anybody understand where you print off the application for your broker to fill out?
Mm.
I'm
Okay,
looking
now
at it
I'm-
right now
I'm
on the
reading-
TR website, but it's, that's what I just cut and paste about. It's how do we get it? It says a letter from the agent's broker. And then there's a certification letter. I'll send that, I mean, the application. Let me send that in the link.
I
The
think they
application's like
send it.
one page. It's super simple. And I just emailed to my broker and I outlined exactly what she had to put in the letter and I gave her all the, because you have to give the specifics of the transaction. So I gave her all the specifics. So basically she just has to copy paste and sign her name at the bottom. Okay, good deal. Because that's what I need. And I was like, where's that?
Well, and that's what I just put in the chat about the completion of it, where it says the letter and then it ends and it says active participation in a CIE. That's what I had seen. So you'd have to be active in a CIE.
I just told my broker that I was a member of CoStar, LoopNet, Crexy.
Yeah.
I think she just has to mention in the letter that I'm in there. I mean, I guess I don't know if I verify that.
Okay.
I might
that's what
login and password.
well, I'm not active.
Your
in
bank
that.
account, show the suck of cash every month. Show my absolutely. Show my bill. Show my CoStar bill. I will be happy to attach that and send it to them. Okay, yes, just the one page then, and then a letter, so, okay. And in that application where it says broker letter, it actually like breaks down what needs to be in the letter on that application. Like 2/3 of the way down, I think.
Yeah. I'm just not active in a CIE because I don't do commercial.
But you know what? Some of those are free. Crexy is free, CREXI,
Mm-hmm.
and it is free. CT Car, which is and Crexy's all over the states. CREXI. And so
I could just maybe.
it's one of the search engines I use
Okay.
when I'm looking for things other than CoStar. And you
So
can make a free account on LoopNet. I don't know if that would consider you part of LoopNet. I mean, yeah. They say your active participation. Does that mean you're paying or? Yeah, because Crexy has a part that you do pay for too, but you don't have to. So I think as long as you pay, you have a profile or a membership, that might be enough.
I want to say
Hey,
commercial RPR is only like $60 or $80 a month if you need to do that for a couple months.
And we have that for free. during-
Even the commercial?
Yeah, we have the commercial for free at ABOR.
Like,
I don't
we can
use it.
do it,
I
but we can't do
Really?
all the extra
It's in our
funds.
dues, I guess. I don't use it that much. I use, but it's available.
Mish told me to let you guys know that she having an internet outage right now.
No kidding, no, Miss Susan. We're like,
Yes, so
Sorry.
she's trying to work on it to get back in shortly. I just asked her, did she want us to take another break, but she hasn't responded yet. So I'll let you.
Yeah, it's technical break.
know.
Additional technical break.
Hi,
On
everyone.
this, on
We
this form,
apologize
does
for,
it say date requirements for this? That's what.
can you all hear me?
barely, yes.
Okay, so Miss just having a little outage on her internet, but she's trying to get that figured out. How about let's take a 10-minute break, and that will give her some time to get back on. We can figure that out. But go ahead and take a 10-minute break, and you don't have to text her anymore. We are trying to get that resolved. Thank you.
Okay.
Boy, this is gonna be a pain. I just sent that today. I just got information from my client late yesterday. So I just waited till this morning to send it. He wanted to view
Gail, have you heard anything? Nothing yet? Mhm.
No, ma'am, sure haven't.
Not yet. We're still waiting on a response.
Oh, okay, great.
Benjamin says we can trim down easily. That's good. Mr. Cheyenne, did you catch my response to your question about the brokers form?
Yes, I did. So in the form, you put your name, but then it's payable to the broker. Is that what you said?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's because it's your transaction. And so the broker will know that it's you, it's something you negotiated, but when they cut final checks, you know, sometimes the instructions and the W9 needs to go out. That stuff would come from your broker. And of course, the check gets cut to the broker and dispersed however your office does it.
See, there was something I brought up in the group and it didn't go anywhere, but it was kind of a interesting question. Most of your commercial realtors, even if they're not a broker, they go by the term broker associate. Especially
Mm-hmm.
and then but we as TREC members can't necessarily do that because a broker associate is a broker that works under the
Another broker.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's a confusing term because even when I worked with a commercial broker, he had me sign everything as broker associate, even though I wasn't.
Really?
Yeah.
That's misleading. Okay.
It is. It really is. But because it's allowed outside of our.
See, but they're still held to TREC regulations. That's still a violation. That's interesting.
Well, I don't know. That's what I argued too, but I was told outside of TREC, like most commercial, like your CBRE that don't have TREC affiliation,
they have TREC affiliation if they have a license. They don't have realtor affiliation.
Okay, well, maybe it's the realtor affiliation part. They work under.
No,
they
they're
work
straight
under
up
a whole
wrong.
different set of guidelines, I guess. I don't know. It just seems odd.
All the rules are the same, and that's the issue. They do operate their own little world. You know what I'm saying? They do things a little like the intermediary. They're not trained up like realtors are to inform people about intermediary and sign those proper disclosures, but they're still held to the same standard if anybody wants to spank them.
Well, it just seemed odd to me, but like I said, everything has, because I have a card from, I'll have to find it here on my desk. My desk's a mess at the moment, but it says broker associate. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, so you have your broker's license? And he goes, nope, I'm just a salesman. On all their cards, they put broker associate.
The only loophole I can see there is that you are an associate of the broker.
That's what I'm thinking. That's how they mean it. I don't know.
And that definitely has a certain meaning for us. You know what I'm saying? So I can see the sneak around.
So anyway, just thought I would throw that out there because you may get, if they're new to commercial and you get somebody that says they're a broker associate and you think, hey, they're a broker,
They're a broker, right?
they may not necessarily be that. So I didn't know if you wanted to share that information with some new people, or if everybody already knew that and I was the only dummy in the room.
No. That's something that I don't think a lot of people would note. And then people would see it and assume they knew what it meant, like what it means in the residential world. So
Yes,
very
ma'am.
cool stuff. I may have to incorporate that into future iterations, of the class. There's so much good stuff to share.
Well, this class, since it's kind of the learning group, I guess, I mean, you've probably picked up a lot of high points for the next group. So
There's so much, there's so much. But we are going to build on it and definitely get the slides updated, improved, get the book fixed, expanded, maybe reordered in terms of those contracts, et cetera. We got work to do.
will they resend us an email of the book once it gets fixed? Do you think they would do that?
You know what? I doubt it. Let me tell you why. Even the GRI books get audited, updated, corrected, fixed, and there's never a reissuing to the 39,000 people who have the designation. So
Well, I didn't know if we could request it. I didn't know if we could request.
That was what I was going to tell you. You can request it, I'm pretty sure, and get it. But would they do it of their own volition? I don't see that as being standard practice. So if I was you, give it some time and then ask.
That was my thought, was maybe just ask and maybe they would send it to you since you were the first group of tests.
First crew, absolutely. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with you asking, but yeah, it wouldn't be an automatic function. 3 minutes. So let me not suck up your break. We got 3 minutes to go.
I got to go look for something. I'll be back.
We got a snowman in the class.
I'm trying to put the thing up so y'all can see what it says, but I don't think I got it on the camera. Well, for the most part, you see it? I'm doing the matrix. You guys totally rock.
We know.
Y'all are awesome. Everyone's amazing. So here we go. Do I need to share or co-host anyone from group one? Does anybody need co-hosting ability?
Yes.
Who is that person? That's Gail?
Gail.
All right, Gail, let me give it to you. Hold on one moment, my friend. Participants. Let's get to Gail's name. Gail, you are listed as SPI.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm sorry.
Don't y'all love it? Let's see. We're gonna make Gail the co-host there. Wait, no, that's Raquel. Excuse me. Gail.
I'm sorry.
Sharon. No, I lost you. Hold on. I was about to co-host the wrong person.
Okay.
SPI. Why don't I see your name?
SBI Gail Hood.
That's strange. Oh, you're listed way up at the top. Okay. Make co-host. Do you now see the controls?
You are the co-host now. I see that.
All right. So group one, tell us who you are and what your scenario was. We are listening.
Okay. We represented the buyer. They were looking for a property of 400,000 square feet to move their employees. And we found one here in Houston. I'm trying to see what the other scenario was. They have 1,400 to 1,600 employees. Didn't want to spend more than $28 million. So anyway, we do have a presentation. We're looking for investors to go in with our buyers. So I'm going to share my screen and the slideshow that we have for our presentation.
I'm so excited.
Me
I
too.
shouldn't be, but I am.
I hope it works.
It is.
Oh my gosh. Keynote. Let's see. Cancel that one.
While you're looking for that, at least you don't have wig pictures sitting up on your desktop. I have wig pictures on mine.
Oh my.
All my little business was out there in the world.
Okay.
All
Here
right.
we go. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, by the way, before you do that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Gail Hood with the Super 5 team. We have an investment for you that we think you will find attractive. It is 9009 West Loop South in Houston, Texas. The sellers are the well-known group Wild West Commercial LLC. And the group that's purchasing this property is Easy Peasy LLC. They would like to acquire one or more partners. Located at 9009 West Loop South, the complex includes a Class B suburban office building with 11 floors plus a basement, totaling 479,493 square feet, with 17 acres of property, currently mostly used for surface parking. The property is located in a 100-year floodplain. It was built in 1975 and renovated in 2014. There are 3 tracts of land with this property. The first tract, A, is the tract that includes the building and the parking lot. There are 2 other tracts that are mostly all parking. There's approximately 1,600 parking spaces currently striped. The amenity offerings in the inner loop of 610 have expanded dramatically in recent years in response to sharp population density increases. Greater Houston's low cost of living continues to serve as a major employment draw, ranking third lowest out of the nation's 20 most populated metropolitan areas. The property is located on what is called 610 feeder, which offers easy access on and off of Loop 610 in both directions. In addition, the feeder provides quick access to main thoroughfares such as Braeswood, South Post Oak, and Beech Nut. Once on Loop 610, drivers will find easy routes to all of Houston's major neighborhoods, shopping centers, and attractions via the network of connecting freeways. I-10, US 59, US 45, US 290, US 288, and the Houston West Park Tollway, not to mention Beltway 8. There are 3 airports that service Houston. Hobby Airport is a 29-minute drive. It is the closest. It's 15.7 miles. Ellington Field Airport is 43 minutes. It is a 24-mile drive. Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport is the largest. It is a 37-minute drive, and it's 29.6 miles. All of these have an FBO for private aircraft. The major surrounding neighborhoods are Bel Air, Braeswood, Braes Heights, Meyerland, West University, Southside Place. And if you look above the Highway 59 here, US 59, you will see the Galleria area on the northwest side. In these charts, 77096 is the zip code where this property is located. The orange bar is the Harris County average. The gray bar is the Texas average. And of course, the blue one is our zip code of this subject. The population is lower in our zip code compared to the other averages. The median age is higher. The female ratio is a little higher and the male ratio a little lower. Same with the married ratio is a little higher, unmarried a little lower compared to the averages. The average household size is a little bit lower. This slide is important because it shows that in the property zip code, the average household income is higher and the average disposable income is higher. We propose to upgrade this to a Class A property. As you can see in the left picture, this is the condition of the property now. The picture on the right side is the architect's rendering of a possible use. They have added extensive landscaping. They've also added more parking and covered parking with 2-level garages. They have improved the facade of the building also. This is our letter of intent. We intend to offer $20 million. We know we will have to negotiate and probably won't get it for that. However, that will be our initial offering. We propose to put $4 million in cash, ask the seller to carry $5 million, and use third-party financing for the balance. The feasibility period will be 30 days. The financing contingency will be 30 days, and the closing date will be another 30 days past the expiration of the feasibility period. We're asking the seller to pay for the title policy and the survey. However, if we have to pay for it, they will reimburse us $5,000. We're asking for a general warranty deed. The representing broker for the seller is Super 5 Team. The representing broker for the buyer is Smith Realtors. However, it looks like we got that backwards. And as far as our commission, we really think we're worth more. So we're asking for 4%. We also propose to ask the seller to bring the building up to the ADA compliance and to provide LEED certification. We don't want the buyer, to assign this to anyone. Our drop dead date is December 14th, but since we have researched the entire state of Texas, and this is the only property that fits our needs perfectly, we think that might get extended. This is an analysis of the finances for this offer. We have based this analysis on the purchase price of $25 million. We know that our $20 million offering was too low and that's probably where we will land. We also project a 95% occupancy rate once we get up and going. Our levered internal rate of return will be 52.81%. If it's unlevered, the internal rate of return will be 17.99%. The unlevered equity multiple would be 2.72 times, and the levered equity multiple would be 6.28 times. Unlevered cash flow, $54,758,093. Levered cash flow, $43,624,223. We project in 10 years that our sales price will be $33,610,336. It was bought at $54 per square foot in this scenario and sold for $71 per square foot, rentable square foot. This is the annual cash flow analysis. And I know it's small, you can't read it, but all of these reports are available upon request. We also have environmental reports and building floor plans that are available to review together with a preliminary title commitment, exception documents, and ad valorem tax information. Additional materials will be made available to registered parties electronically. Other due diligence materials will be distributed to active participants as they become available. In other words, we are going to require an NDA before we get started. Based upon Easy Peasy Advisors' expected growth potential in the next 10 years, we project that we will outgrow 9009 West Loop South in 9 years. Our exit strategy is as follows. We will hold the property for 10 years, and during year one, we will allocate $3 million to capital improvements, such as elevators, HVAC, landscaping, as well as interior and exterior upgrades. We'll also allocate $1.5 million in the first 3 years to tenant improvements. At that time, we project at least 95% occupancy, which will make our asset more desirable when we sell. Before we list this to sell in our 10th year, our acquisition department will identify 3 suitable properties so that we can utilize the IRS 1031 exchange option, and then complete a projected sales price of at least $33 million. For more information, contact the Super 5 team. Since commercial sales agents don't answer the phone, try all of these guys and you might catch one that isn't on the golf course. Joe, 1-800-CALL-GOLF. Raquel, 1-800-CALL-SELL. Amy, 1-800-CALL-STAR. Twani, 1-800-CALL-EPIC. Gail, 1-800-CALL-TEAM. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, that was amazing. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. I had questions and then you started answering them. So okay, we're all your audience. Does anyone have any questions for the Super 5 team?
I just love how she sat back and ate them snacks, honey. Like, the question was going, yes, darling. That's all I got to say.
Let me just say, first of all, very impressed that you guys got it in there. Let me see how we, Sharon, do me a favor. And if you can stop share, I think it's at the, not Sharon, excuse me, Gail. There you go.
There you go. I got it.
Totally impressed. I mean, I have to admit, if she didn't get, let me stop. They got it all in there. The 1031 exchange was happening. They're planning on selling it before they buy it. I'm thrown back, man.
It was truly a group effort. It was.
Your group did a great job. Even in the chat, Benjamin and Raymond and folks are just, look at Veronica, Erica, everyone's like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So hands down, that was an impressive start.
Thank you.
And you did answer a lot of the questions that were starting to come up, but let me make this very quick. Impressed with your use of RPR for including that in there. The upgrade information was fantastic. The floodplain information, you know, if this was a real case scenario, of course, somebody would have asked about prior damage with the Harvey hurricane coming up. Somebody might have wanted to know, what had you done with Hurricane Harvey repairs, you know, if there were any, might not have had any issues. So when you mentioned the floodplain, somebody might have said, hey, in the past, was there any damage here? Hey, I saw that, Raymond. It's so cute. But no, this was very impressive. And if we had time for questions, I would have asked one other question. I'd like to hear back from some of our experienced practitioners. The feasibility period was 30 days. And then you had 2 more periods in there. What were those again?
Well, we had a financing contingency period, and we also had an extension of the feasibility period for another 30 days.
That's what I was looking for. Okay, because I wondered if that was going to suffice for such a big property. It may have taken. Did y'all hear me? It may have taken. It may have taken some considerable time to do feasibility studies and environmental assessments on a property that big. But let me just say, hands down, job well done. Is group 2 ready? I mean, I'd be scared. Are y'all ready?
Yeah, give us just a second, and if I can get control.
Who needs the control? Who's the control?
Sorry,
guy?
Benjamin Watser.
Benjamin, control dude. Let me get you something. There you are. Here it comes, and make co-host.
Okay, give me just a second here.
Yes, sir.
So we had a totally different presentation, needless to say, because ours is a lease. So let's get right on into it. So VSA is relocating to DFW. We are Acme Brokerage. As you can see from the bottom there, we're exclusive agents of Wile E. Coyote since 1949. And if you look at all of our head coverings, we're actually trying to represent Santa Claus as of 2021. We are totally presented by Cheyenne Cobb, Niquay Dunbar, Raymond Edler, Santosh Gane, Raquel Harbin, and myself, Benjamin Lotzer. VSA is a company that builds trusses. So we are going to be dealing with some light manufacturing, very low environmental impact. Their site requirements, as you already know, is 100,000 square feet or larger of industrial space. The finished trusses are going to be loaded onto oversized flatbed trucks. and shipped via interstate. So we're going to be talking about the closeness to interstates along with the infrastructure built within DFW. They would like a large open space for fabrication assembly on site. So of course, this means we want to try to contain things into one building if possible and not have multiple sites or various areas where they'd have to be changing in and out. So hopefully one contiguous space. With that, they also told us that their average employee is going to be making $45,000 per year. So we also want to make sure to look at the living costs for the area, make sure that all 800 other workers that will be relocated and or hired from the local economy will be able to afford homes for the areas that they are set with. For the site itself, they want to make sure they have large bay doors, and they're looking to spend no more than $4 per square foot with a triple net lease. And they're also going to be receiving all of their bulk steel shipments via rail. So we're also going to talk about the rail, both situated within DFW and also in within the distance of the location that they have in themselves. So we have various people going over the interstates, then we will go over rail, then we will go over DFW, the two sites that we have found, one in Fort Worth and one in Dallas, and then we will finish up. So, and to start out, we were going to go handing over to Cheyenne.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, we're going to discuss the interstate service system around these two locations. The one located on Railhead in Fort Worth and the one located on Corporate Drive just off 635 in Northeast Dallas. The Railhead location in Fort Worth, if you could give me my next slide, please. Both sites are located adjacent to major interstate arteries. The Tarrant location is located adjacent to Interstate 820 and Interstate 35W. These arteries provide easy access to multiple cross-country routes for shipping and receiving. The Dallas location, it's located adjacent to 635. 635 provides easy access to both 35E, Interstate 30, and I-20. These are major shipping and receiving routes for construction companies across the nation. Both properties are accessed via secondary access roads that are large enough to accommodate oversized shipping loads. As with anything in the Metroplex area, traffic is always a concern. Traffic flows are a challenge. And with our suggestion, I believe the Tarrant County location has slightly better access due to the location and the time that traffic would be. So we would see less delays in both employees arriving and departing, and with materials arriving that cannot or are unable to be shipped by rail. This will now be passed on to Raquel, who will cover our rail system for us.
Hello, everyone. Our first location in Dallas, Texas, it is very close, within approximately 1 to 2 miles of the Kansas City Southern Services rail yard there. With that, the main train comes in and disconnects, and their short lines take that to the site. It allows them with their incoming steel products to be offloaded and the site directly from the rail, which they usually use a short lines transport, or the rail company transports that product to their location. And with you being close to the rail, that cuts and allows your trucking cost to be down, and it also allows your company from having to truck from wherever it is coming from. And then we have our second location, which is our Railhead location in Fort Worth. That is the major hub there is the BNSF Saginaw Yard, which is less than 2 miles of the location. And that main train comes in and disconnects, and the short lines take your products to your site. That allows you, with your incoming steel products, to be offloaded. And being close to the rail, it cuts your trucking costs and allows your company from having to truck to wherever the material is coming in from. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Santosh, and he is going to discuss the areas with both sites.
Hello, everyone. Basically, I'm going to discuss about the DFW area. what it brings to the businesses and to the common local people and what drives the traffic in DFW area. So it has a strong business climate, with the two larger airports. The major one is DFW, where the major air traffic is taken by it, and where Dallas Lowfield will assist with the air traffic and the DFW. And the city, the metroplex of Dallas Fort Worth has a wide variety of industries, from the tech industry in the lead, from defense, financial services, data companies, life science, insurance, semiconductor, telecommunications, and much more. So Dallas has something for everyone out there. DFW majorly has more than 40 towns and cities in and around its suburbs, and the cost of living is average cost of living is almost lower than the national average. The common housing prices, as per the latest statistics, are almost 249,000, which is lower than the normal average. So coming to the demographics, the DFW area has the population of about 551,000 with 203,000 households. The average income varies from 46,000 to 50,000. And coming to the education, less than 20% are below the high school, and the average high school graduates are 23%, with the 28% college graduates, and more than almost 25 to 30% averaging from the graduates or with a bachelor's degree or a graduate degree. So coming to the income, the average income is 54 to 60,000, with the per capita income of 29,000 to 32,000, with the median net worth of 36 to 38,000. Next slide, please. Yeah, the demographics of Fort Worth is a little lower when compared to Dallas. But I mean, when coming to the education side, the income per capita, as well as the job opportunities, everything is the same as the Dallas. In all the way, Dallas is a great destination for all sorts of people, all sorts of industries. And top of that, the local, city, and the state governments provide some tax areas and tax incentives, which makes a great investment opportunity for everyone. So from now, I mean, I'm done with the presentation. Nakwe will lead from here.
Hi, everyone. So just to give you a few details regarding our first site, it is $4 a square foot, and that does not include utilities or property expenses or building services. 6 drive-in bays, 32 loading docks, also 3,962 square foot of office space, with a total of 144,824,000 complete total. Also, it has 29 high door docks and 4 drive-in doors. And there's a clear height, and it has sprinklers throughout. Also, it is a direct access to the Kansas City Southern Rail Services and the LBJ Freeway, 30 minutes to both DFW International and Dallas Love Field airports. Also, it provides easy access to the both trucking options and the skilled workforce in the metropolitan area. And as far as our second site that we have in Railhead in Fort Worth, it is 400,000 square footage with approximately 3,100 square foot of office space. It has 27 docks, high docks, 1 ramp. And it also has 14 reserved spots built in 2008. And as far as it's $3.65 per square footage. So basically, we thought that these 2 sites would be better to present to our clients. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Benjamin.
So as you can see from both of our examples, we hope that you can trust us to take care of your DFW relocation needs. And at that, we're going to go and roll credits.
I cannot with you guys. Oh my God. Okay, applause, applause. Y'all are just too much with it. I'm starting to believe you all got one too many breakout sessions. That's what I'm seeing here. You all had too much fun. That was awesome. Thank you guys. I would definitely add, if you really had time, this is only to prove a point because you all brought up something pretty amazing in your presentation. In Niquay's part, she talked about 4 of the delivery docks were ramped. Let me say this, if anybody gets into industrial, it doesn't even begin with just ramps and dock high and roll up doors. It gets deep and it gets nasty. So the idea that you all even put the ramped part in there was pretty impressive because a lot of people will skip over that. Now I want to ask you guys one quick question, and some of this may be a nuance of what's in the book versus what you really found in the market. Do you believe that with the client exercise you were given, the distance between those 2 locations is going to be an issue? What do you think?
Definitely. That's why actually we went ahead and gave them 2 options, because the Fort Worth market is totally different than that Northeast Dallas section. So we figured by giving them 2 pretty distant ones, they'd be able to make a better choice, especially considering the demographics and the average cost of both housing and income. I mean, you're going to get a much easier workforce in Fort Worth because they're paying dirt cheap for Dallas.
Okay. That was pretty amazing. I mean, totally impressed, and everyone participated. We do love the red Acme backgrounds and the hats to match. Thank y'all so much. That was impressive stuff, guys. And amazingly, we are really on schedule here. So who's our next group? Group 3. Let's hit it. Who needs control? Does anyone?
I do.
I is Chandra.
Chandra.
Okay. Let me get Chandra co-hosted here. You'll see it come across your screen.
Okay. So this is our presentation to ABC Financial Advisors looking to relocate from California to Houston, Texas. Their ideal property is between, ooh, whoa, too many. It's between 300. Okay.
That's the easy, smooth transition. That's all.
Easy. Yeah. 350 to 400 square feet, single tenant. They would prefer a Class A office building with ample parking, preferably in a garage. They do want a prominent, iconic property in the Houston area, conveniently located to major transportation arteries and an international airport. They do want an appealing nearby residential neighborhood for their employees, as many of them will be relocating as well, with an ideal quality of life. They would prefer to stay in the $70 per square foot range. We will go on to that more in a moment. They would like a LEED certified building, full ADA compliance with no obsolescence issues, and situated in an appropriate market to attract new qualified talent. They are looking to expand their operations when they settle into Texas. So why Texas? Comparatively to California, the cost of living is more attractive. There isn't access to quality talent in the area. Texas has a combined corporate income tax of 21%, tied for the lowest in the US. Site Selection Magazine named Houston as second in the US for the number of corporate facility deals. In 2019, ranked only behind Chicago. So many companies are relocating to Houston in recent years. We have 2 major airports, a massive seaport, extensive rail and road infrastructure, and 90 foreign consulates. So the $70 a square foot is a bit of a challenge for us, but we would like to present 3 properties that fit all but that requirement. And given the fact that they will be occupying the property, that will mitigate the vacancy risk, and we feel confident that we can pair them with an equity partner that would make up the difference. So going into property number 1, we have 2 Westlake Park. This is at 580 Westlake Park Boulevard in Houston. This building is, is 454,000 square feet. Average floor plates are about 22,000. It is a master plan deed restricted business park. The financial numbers on this, they are looking for a down payment of $29 million and an assumable loan of 91 million for a total of 120. It puts this at about $264 a foot, which is in range of what office buildings of this caliber are going for in Houston, in the $200 to $300 range. This is a Class A building. Sorry.
Take your time.
It has great visibility, highly visible to I-10, so there is a ton of access to nearby transportation. Also access to Bush Airport. The residential, my notes are a mess. So there's been an incredible amount of growth in this. This is the energy corridor. And oil and gas did take a bit of a hit lately. So we're seeing the area open up residentially. More homes are available for oil and gas that is moving out. Other types of corporations are being invited to come in. A little bit more on why Houston obviously has a huge, the largest medical center. There's employment growth. 22 Fortune 500 companies call Houston home. So it would be a great place for this company to come as well. This slide, this shows the site plan. So you have a parking garage as well as a large campus. The parking ratio is about 2.7 out of 1,000, so some ample parking. Location-wise, you can see it's right off here, off of I-10. So very convenient access there. Here's some other great points of the energy corridor, great commute. Top-rated schools, they used to have some of the highest ranking schools in Texas. There's a ton of restaurants and other retail available to people living there, as well as hotels. Obviously, like I said, home options for the employees coming in, fantastic access to 610, Highway 290, Beltway 8, and also adjacent to George Park, which is a 26,000 acre urban park. And it's also one of the largest business districts in Houston. So it would be amongst a bunch of other high caliber companies. Our next option is 1801 Smith Street. This is a this is a 458,000 square foot downtown office building. This is a Class B building, but it has recently been upgraded with over $11 million worth of capital improvements. It does have an adjacent parking garage, which houses about 700 cars. It does fall short of what you're looking for. However, it is located next to the transportation center. So there are 8 local bus routes, 21 commuter routes. So your employees will have a ton of options to not have to drive to work. They can take a myriad of public transportation. The floor plates are about 22,000 square feet as well. There is a climate controlled public space that has been recently added to the buildings. Like I said, this building was completely renovated in 2017. It also has access to the climate controlled tunnel and skybridge system to other areas of downtown. And it's within walking distance of all of Midtown's amenities. Building amenities include a cafe, conferencing facility, restaurant, car charging station, security, and on-site property management. Convenient access to I-10, I-45, and US 59. And it's about 20 minutes, 10 miles from Hobby Airport. This property is a distressed sale, so there may be some wiggle room in the price. Obviously, downtown is a very hip, up and coming area, tons of restaurants, bars, as well as sporting, Rockets games, Broadway shows. So this a little bit more hustle bustle of the city that your employees might be used to or want access to, as well as parks, Discovery Green. Now this property does require the execution of a confidentiality agreement. So in order to receive more pertinent financial details regarding the price and such, we will need to have you fill out this document. This does not bind you to purchase the building, nor even to make an offer. This just simply gives us permission to take a look at the documents and obviously to not disclose them once we have the information. Our last property is Generation Park. This is a 42,000 acre master plan commercial development on the northeast side of Houston. This is one of the largest commercial developments. And there is a building that is proposed called 101 North Redemption Square. Now this business park has grown exponentially over the last few years. It now houses a ton of retail, hotels, as well as college campuses, and as well as corporate and other business headquarters. Some of the amenities within Generation Park, like I said, there's the Marriott Courtyard Hotel, a ton of restaurants. The area was also rated as one of the top 20 best places to live in Texas for its schools and neighborhoods. Lake Houston is a destination kind of getaway area, and there are tons of homes between 200,000 to over 1 million. Proximity, this is about 10 minutes from Bush International Airport. So this is extremely attractive for the employees that will be traveling, as well as for the clients and such that they'll have visiting, given that there are hotels on site. Like I said, the award-winning schools. One of the things that they're looking for is to have access to quality talent to bring into their organization. And this campus, there's a Lone Star College campus as well as a San Jack campus on site. This is 101 North Redemption Square Road. It is proposed to be 300,000, but I did speak with the builder and they are willing to expand that footprint as needed. It will come with a adjacent garage parking. It would be one of the tallest buildings with in 430 square miles. It would be a Class A building, all the bells and whistles, and obviously finishes and complexity of what you're looking for. It would vary, but the developer said that we're looking at about $350 a square foot on the development side. It shows a site detail of where it's located, right near medical offices as well as the hotel. Also an event and banquet center, which would be perfect if you are having extra meetings or conferences and need a little extra space. A typical floor plate. Very strong market demographics in the area. Like I said, it's one of the fastest growing zip codes in the area. That is all. We are open to questions.
Any questions? Thank you so much, group 3. Thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful images to look at. And so you guys came up with what, 3 offerings? I want to give you a little love and a little credit here. And don't forget to stop your share. But Chandra in her group brought up something that was interesting. And that was in doing this exercise, having to go to the different brokerages to actually request the information we saw, knowing good and doggone well she wasn't going to buy anything. So that was a hazard of doing this exercise that even we didn't consider in creating the book and the exercises. So that stuff's going to be put on the table. So thank you for bringing that forward. But great job considering you really had to deal with Newmark to get yourself an NDA and everything. Did you sign it?
No, it's required to be signed by the client. And
Oh my gosh.
client.
And
So
you guys pulled those brochures down from the listings, right?
yes, a lot of them, 1801 Smith Street, they wouldn't give us anything, so I made that one.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, I have to give you all credit though. Excellent stuff, because some of the things you guys have run up against, we didn't anticipate. So the supervisors, the people that created all this, were real eager to see just how you guys proceed. So thank you again, Chandra and Group 3. And Group 4, you guys ready to do it?
We are, and I will need the co-host for screen share.
All righty, let me get your name up there, Angela. And you are listed under Angela. Let me get you right. There, here it comes. That is one of my favorite commercial real estate pictures. I use that a lot.
Okay, let me move you guys a little off center there.
Oh, that's okay. You get set up time.
Okay, so we would like to say that we do appreciate the opportunity to present VSA with our property survey. We put our dream team on this project that included Benjamin Campos, Matthew Tan, Carolyn Hatley, Chris Parker, McGill Martinez, and Angie Jones. What we know about you: you're a major manufacturer of street trusses since 1968. Your trusses go in commercial warehouses, airport hangars, industrial manufacturing facilities. You have an assembly and distribution facility presently in Ohio. And you have a strong existing business in the Midwest. We know your interest is in growing the market in the southern US, which would include Texas, Tennessee, Florida, and Georgia. Our team has identified 3 spaces within the Dallas, Texas metro area that may be of interest. We took consideration of the square footage needed, your budget, of course, your fabrication need for open spaces with adequate column spacing and clear ceiling heights, and parking availability. We also consider demographically for your workforce of 800 plus employees, the workforce pool, area salaries, and medium home prices for employees' quality of life. The 3 properties we have identified are 500 Industrial Boulevard, 2917 Oakland Avenue in Garland, Texas, and 3101 Pinewood Drive in Arlington, Texas. As you can see on the map, all 3 of those properties are surrounded by many interstates and freeways for easy transport in and out of the area. Let's get started with the first property, 500 Industrial Boulevard in Grapevine, Texas. The age of this particular building is 1975, but it has been renovated in 1981. There's approximately 192,000 square feet available, and 12.3% of that is office space. The rest is industrial warehouse. So there's plenty of room for possible expansion in the future. It is a triple net lease. Market rate advertises $395 a square foot per year. And the estimates on the operating expenses are $1.10 per square foot yearly. The clear heights on the ceiling are 23 to 27 feet, And the column spaces run 50 by 62 square feet. Let me go back to that so you can see there are also 12 loading docks and 4 drive-in docks on this property. Parking on this facility, there are 249 spaces. We have included a floor plan. As you can see, it will be a multi-tenant space. There looks like there's 2 tenants that will be present. And we've now attached the demographics. The demographics, we started with a population projection up to 2025. We have the average age of your workforce in that area. It looks to be 38 to 40 years old. We included a population by occupation, so you can see what types of businesses are in the surrounding area. An average household income for Grapevine.
What? I need to move.
Not such a bad place for average household income. Okay, let's go to our second property, which is 2917 Oakland Avenue in Garland, Texas. The age of this building is 1970. It has 123 plus square feet available, and 8% of that is office space and the rest is manufacturing. It is a triple net lease, and the market rate is listed at $3.30 a square foot on this property. And the estimated operating expenses are running about $1.04 per square foot. Clear heights on the ceilings are running 25 to 33 feet, and the column spaces are running 40 feet by 40 feet. And this one has a significant amount of loading docks. There's 25 loading docks and 1 drive-in dock on this property. As you see parking that surrounds it, there are 96 spaces. We've attached the floor plan for review. I do appreciate the floor plans now do a lot for the columns in there, so you can see how much room you would have for your large trusses in the manufacturing. Again, we attached the demographics. We started with the same population projection for Garland, Texas. We've got your work pool selection. The same population of occupation demographics. And the median household income here is considerably less than Grapevine. We have one more property, the 3101 Pinewood Drive in Arlington, Texas. This property the age is 1977, excuse me. It is a little over 100,000 square feet. 5.5% of that is office space. It is, again, a triple net lease. Market rate advertises $3.95 a square foot with estimated operating expenses of 92 cents a square foot per year. And the ceilings on this property, clear heights are 22 feet. The column spacing in this property is 25 by 44 feet. This has 8 loading docks and 5 drive-in docks. The parking on this facility is 40 spaces. We have again attached the floor plan that you can view with the columns included. And we have our demographics for Arlington as well. Projected population to 2025. Your work pool force. Your population by occupation. It is slightly higher here in the manufacturing portion. In the average household income.
Dun, 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 dun.
What we've also included in this is the Texas Business Incentives and Programs. It's a good resource to see if there are any initiatives that may be available for your company for bringing employment to the area. Also, by the look of this picture, Dallas, Texas Metro has many freeways and highways for transportation in and out of Texas. It also has rail lines. It's the BNSF rail lines and United Pacific that connect the ports to most large cities in the southern region. To recap, we've got 3 properties that are within budget of what the company is looking for. We've got a 1975, 1970, and 1977 building. The clear heights should be adequate for building trusses. The column spacing within each one of these manufacturing warehouses fit within realm of being able to build trusses. We have the dock space in each one of those. Parking does vary. We've got 249 in our first property, the 500 Industrial Boulevard, and 40 in the 3101 Pinewood Drive. Operating expenses are running from 92 cents to $1.10 a square foot per year. And all 3 of these have more than adequate highway access and rail service. That concludes our presentation. Upon review, if you will let us know which property you would like to move forward with gathering more information and getting an LOI together. Thanks for your time.
Woohoo! That's for everybody, including group 4. There was some good stuff in that one too. And stop your share so we can all talk to each other for a few seconds. I'm going to tell you my favorite part of that last one, and that was the comparison, column for column for column. So we could just see side by side what you guys found. So that was a nice touch. And then in group 2, was it group 3? I forgot to mention that you guys had put in there that one of those properties was master planned, which was pretty amazing because that's always a very big deal for people to know that it's master planned, but you found a distressed sale too. So I forgot to mention that was a plus for group 3. But Angela and crew, I think you guys did really good because of things like column spaces. And just as a person who's done industrial, I will tell you this, I thought it was pretty cool that you put the pictures in that showed the truck wells, because again, those get to be a big deal later. And one of them I noticed, the 2 of them actually, your Pinewood and your Oakland, they had covered docks. Covered docks can sometimes be a problem if the trucks can't back up to them. I also noticed bumpers on one of the properties so that the docks had bumpers, also something that comes up, but it was in the pictures, so it was pretty good. You guys all did outstanding, amazing, fabulous, wonderful, impressive jobs. Everything from backgrounds and Santa hats, puppies in the screen. There's Raymond Jr. there. Look at the, but really everyone did something a little different. You all rocked and rolled with the problems that came up with the exercises and did a fantastic job. So how did it feel? How did it feel to be in front of the room? I've been doing this for 12 straight days. How did y'all feel? Look at the silence in the room.
Glad to have it over with.
I'll need to quit. Man, I'm going to miss y'all. I don't even know what else to say. I'm straight up absolutely going to miss you.
We might get a good night's sleep tonight.
Say it again.
We might get a good night's sleep tonight and not wake up worrying about this presentation.
Amen. And multiply that by 12 classes.
Exactly.
That has been my life. Every time I present to you guys, it has been a concern, but it's been a pleasure. So, there's not going to be a lot of time for final comments, thoughts, and words because we're going to take a break really quickly. When we come back, we're going to exam review and then go straight into the exam. So with all that said, before everybody breaks and disappears, because it's my only time I get to say it, thank y'all. Man, this has been fantastic. All the feedback, all of the patience with all of the errors and the page numbers and everything that went right and everything that went wrong, including today's internet outage. Thank y'all. You totally made this a fantastic experience. And I got to show you because I'm not lying to you. Look at this mess. Look, where's my note? I couldn't believe. Here's Comcast. If you can see it, they had the audacity. Let me see if you can see it. Good news. The outage has what? 11 o'clock. If you look at the timestamp, that sucker came through right when I pulled up in here. I could have shot somebody. Just yeah. So anyway, again, thank y'all. Benjamin, I'm looking forward to spending another 8 days with you in sections 1 and 2 next year. Anyone who has a friend who is of African American descent, let me at least say this. Texas Realtors acknowledges that in its commercial sector, only 3% happen to be like me. It's just the way it is in this business. And so as a result, through work with the National Association of Realtors, they made a choice to give away 1 scholarship to an African American candidate. So if it moves you, share it with your friends and buddies that there's only 1 on the table, but there's 1 scholarship out there. They are thinking about expanding that in future years to other groups, so don't feel like we left you out. With all that said, mwah! Love every last one of you. You drove me crazy, and I know I drove y'all nuts, but it was fantastic. Take your break, get your second devices, and get ready to do exam review and roll straight into your exam. Don't disappear though. Don't leave.
Mish, where can we share that? Is there a link? I know you talked about it in class. Is there a link we can share that scholarship information?
All I can tell you for sure, just off the rip, is if you just go to the Texas Realtors website and click the red side, which is, the member side, and then do a search for the word scholarship, it's the first thing that comes up.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. That's the National Association's attempt at some equity here.
Hey, Mish.
Yo.
It's me. Sorry, hang on.
Yes,
What's the Trek rules on an agent responding back to you? I can't remember, and I took a photo of it, but I'd have to go through 50 slides.
No, we can do it right now. I left the presentation up. Tell me what it is you remember that you want to
Are you
see.
talking? I can't hear you. I guess she's not talking to me.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear.
I'm here. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
It has to be something on her end.
Angela, I know. I was wondering. I thought maybe because I'm at Texas Realtors now, I'm really handicapped because I don't know how to operate this equipment. I see Miss Cortez has put the link for the scholarship in the chat. If you need that to share that with friends, it's in there. Thank you. Thank you, Diana. Does anyone need to see any slides or re-photograph them? I can certainly share them now. Hey, Benjamin Campos, because I don't know what your computer will or won't do once you start taking the exam, just have something ready. Just have a backup. Call back. Hey, well, Angela can't hear me.
Would you tell me what the lease rate is and the triple nets to begin with? That would be helpful, and then I can ask my client if they still want to view, period.
Are you, Angela, are you talking to me? She might be on the phone.
Geraldine, I got a little break in this class, so just call me back when you get this. If I don't answer, I'll probably be around 4:30 or so before I can call you back.
To the proctors on camera, we are in a short break. We're going to get started with our final review. And then once we are done with review, we're going straight into exam. So I just wanted to kind of cue you all up. In about 15, 20 minutes, we're going straight into exam. Who am I talking to? Hey, Raquel. I think I'm looking for Raquel Harbin. I
Yeah,
think.
yes.
Okay, per that, so that might be as simple as signing up for Commercial Gateway.
And it's, I mean, I don't do that a lot. I mean, commercial primarily, so I'll just have to find a free one and then sign into one. Sign up for one.
Yeah, and it's, you know, and there are free ones out there, absolutely. So I didn't understand earlier what you meant. I thought you meant active in real estate, but in commercial real estate. But to your point, I see what you're reading now. And it just, yes, ma'am, sign up with something, and there are free ones out there. Good point, though.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And y'all try to come on back in about another 4 minutes or so.
Cheyenne. Cheyenne, I'm gonna get you. Ms. Hernandez, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. I was about to text you until you said I'm here. So perfect timing. We're on break at the moment, and let me drop this screen so I can look at you face to face there. But we're on break at the moment. We're coming back to just do exam review, and we're rolling straight into the exam. So when they all come back, the floor is yours.
All right.
Yay. You missed some really good stuff. Cap
I'm
stuff.
so sorry. I have a.
Now, that's a credit to them, not a knock against you. They made some incredible presentations. Really good
That's
stuff.
great. That's great.
Break is up in about 2 minutes, my friends. You've got about 2 more minutes and break is up. We got to get started.
Ah, we have a new student. Miss Hernandez is here with us, huh? Hi,
Yes.
Deb, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. Good.
Now I have to wipe down all surfaces. 1 more minute, my friends. Come on back. Grab whatever you need during your exam. Get your coffee, your snacks, your kids, your cats, whatever makes you happy. Come on. Be sure to remove all books and notes and whatnot. We're on the honor system, but I need to make that notation. Go ahead and remove anything. This is not an open book exam, so we're just trusting you to be forthright people. All right, I have sanitized the mess out of everything I've touched. All right, hopefully everyone's back in the room because we've got a superstar in the room. My friends, this is your chance to tell on me. My boss just got here. I'm being really facetious, but very truthful and honest. Miss Deborah Hernandez is in the room, and she is over professional development for Texas Realtors. So Deborah, would you please take the floor?
I will. Thank you very much. Mishka asked me to drop in and say hi to you guys. I just want to congratulate all of you for finishing all 3 segments of the TACS coursework. And I heard that many of you have already got your transactions in order, and so you'll be earning the accreditation and getting your little pin, which is really cute. It's about this big, about that big square, and has the Texas Accredited Commercial Specialist on it, all spelled out, rather than just acronyms, because we all hate acronyms, right?
We love alphabets behind our names. So
yeah, I know that's fine, because that gives people a reason to ask you what that means. But for the pin, I thought it would be better if it was spelled out. So that's what it'll look like. But I'm super excited that you guys have done this, and thank you for being our first graduates of this program. We're super excited about it. It took a long time to get all this in place. You would not believe, you don't have enough time for me to go through all the steps that have to take place to get a new 90-hour course put together. So anyway, you don't care about that anyway. But I wish you all the luck with taking your exam. If Mishka has been mean to you, you can always contact me directly at dhernandez@texasrealtors.com. But I know that's see, that's why I can just roll it off really fast.
Checks are coming in the mail. Bribe checks are coming in the mail. Don't report me, y'all. Don't turn me in. Only had one friend in the chat there, Deb. That's Gail Hood. Apparently her check made it in.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know she's amazing. I mean, you know, it was my choice. I mean, there was not a lot of instructors that were qualified, but you know, when I reached out to Mish, you know, to see if she would be willing to be our first instructor. And she also developed all the slides for us. So you got to enjoy them, but everybody else will too. So anyway, thank you so much for being part of this. I think it's going to be just as powerful as the GRI has been. You know, and the GRI we have the strongest program in the whole country. And it's all because of our members, our local associations, and our fabulous instructors like Mish. So anyway, thank you. You guys have a great test time. And give me a call or send me an email if you have any issues, okay? Thank you.
She means it. Thank you so much, Deb. And I'll pay for a pen. I'd like one too. I didn't even.
Well, I was going to send you one. I just, you know.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
All right. Thanks.
All right, my friends. Thank you guys for the chat messages too. That stuff stays on the record. So I appreciate y'all so much. Hope you had a good time. Hope you got something up out of here. If you didn't get it from me, hopefully you got it from Chandra and Angela and everybody who contributed. And I mean, everybody at some point, you all do recognize that all of you spoke, right? Even some of you who didn't want to talk in the beginning, Cheyenne, I love you, didn't want to talk in the beginning, ended up joining the group and talking. So that means all of you were co-teachers, and I appreciate it tremendously because I can only specialize in one or two things and not everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheyenne put in there, we need to meet up on Zoom afterwards to exchange ideas. I think Matthew had mentioned a Facebook group for the first crew. So if you guys want to create a Facebook room, you might want to do so. And it's not a bad idea. I think you should. There are TRLP groups that are exclusive to the class only. So if you want to, tell everybody they're not welcome, you can create a group as well. The board that's hosting right now, there's several boards hosting. Santosh, Summer Dallas, HAR has its own set of courses. But at the end of the day, if anyone needs anything, my phone rings all the time. Call me. Call me. If there's something we glazed over, it was too fast and you want to backtrack, holler. Benjamin mentioned, this is Benjamin Lotzer. I think it was Benjamin Lotzer was looking for an updated version of the book. I don't blame you for wanting to see how we changed the book. I'm not saying we're going to automatically send it to you, but I don't think it's out of line for you to call and ask for a digital copy of the updated, corrected book. So for those of you who might want that, call your board and see what's what, but give us some time. Benjamin, it's going to take us a few weeks to get it. We're about to start exam review and go into exams. And so one of the things that must happen is anybody with backgrounds up, it needs to come down, unfortunately. So anyone that may be walking by that is inappropriately dressed, please warn them. Backgrounds down. We need to make sure we know where you are and that someone ain't pitching them answers to you in the background. Let's get it. All right. So here's the new stuff. Let's start with the new stuff you hadn't heard. Which of the following, and I swear to goodness, once you hear this, you're going to be like, did we need to do this? Which of the following is a good example of a commercial overlay board? Would it be NTCAR, STCAR, CTCAR, all of them? All of them, thank you. How many, let me see, I'm sorry, about how quickly did the lady who was the CCIM say you might get your first transaction done? How long did she say that might take? She said about 2 years, about 2 years. Let's see. Now this one, we didn't hit, so I'm gonna just share it with you. If a business wants to target uptown individuals, want uptown people, what type of search method is reliable and simple to utilize? And that search method, remember it, and it's a very unique name: tapestry segmentation analysis. So if we're looking for uptown individuals, there is a search method called tapestry segmentation analysis. Some of this is linked to RPR and some of the search tools that this format didn't allow time for. So I'm giving you tapestry segmentation analysis. All right, so when you're looking at brokers and you're trying to figure out which broker I might want to work with if I'm going into commercial, which one of these things is probably the bottom of the list for you? Would it be how many years a broker's been in business? Would it be their support and training? Would it potentially be the appearance of the broker's office, or would it be commission splits? What's at the bottom of the list? Yeah, the appearance of the office. You can work around it. Let's see. So your client is leasing some space. Landlord agrees to, give you a commission on the gross lease upon signing and along with any renewals and extensions. If your client agrees to extend this thing 5 years later and the landlord doesn't pay you, what should you do? Should you remind the landlord, buddy, you owe me some money? Should you tell your client that if the landlord doesn't ante up, that burden falls on them? Should you maybe place a lien on the property, or should you talk to your broker first if the landlord refuses to pay? Or would you do A and D? A would be remind the landlord that they owe you a commission, and D was talk to your broker. Talk to your broker and remind them that they owe you a commission, because going in on that fight might result in everyone ending up in court. So again, you're gonna talk to your broker and remind them that they do owe you. Remind them with paperwork. All right, how about this one? What describes buildings that are professionally managed and are in a good location, but may have just a kiss of obsolescence? Would it be a Class A, B, or C? Class B, absolutely. Class B. Good location, just a smooch of obsolescence. It's probably a B class building. When you're looking at the anagram SWOT for a SWOT analysis, what does the W stand for? Looking in the chat. Weaknesses. What does the S stand for? Strengths, absolutely. And what does the T stand for? Does anybody remember what the T is for? Our threats. Yes. All right. So you have a client that decides they want to go ahead and open up a small Italian restaurant within 5 miles of the house they currently live in. But a search of the area shows that a kind of restaurant might not work out well in the area. What would you suggest that the client do? And I'm not even going to read your choices. What would you suggest they do? The 5 mile, thank you. Expand the area. Expand the area. Funny enough, one of the choices says consider another business. Okay, the smart aleck and you may go for that, but definitely expand the area. Consider expanding your search. Let's see. You are meeting with an investor for the first time, and this is one of those 2 questions that are back to back that look identical. So you're meeting with an investor for the first time that wants to go ahead and get into commercial real estate, and they've never done it before. What's the first question you need to ask this new investor? First question. I'm sorry. I just caught something. Are you working with an agent? Are you working with an agent? That is number 1. Angela, I'm going to snatch you for that answer, which is absolutely hilarious. For the Italian restaurant within 5 miles of the house, Angela said, list your house. I can help you with that. Angela, I don't blame her. But yes, are you working with an agent? Now, the other question that was somewhat identical was you're meeting with an investor, first timer in the business. What questions will you ask? And would these be among those questions? Would you ask them their desired IRR? Would you ask them how long they want to hold on to whatever they purchase? Might you ask them about their expectations? Or would you ask them all of those things? Absolutely. You'd ask them all of those things. Don't forget, these questions are back to back. They look identical. Just read slow. You'll catch it. All right. So the owner of an old, outdated, totally obsolescent apartment complex somewhere in Dallas, undergoing a whole bunch of gentrification in the area with a big old demand for apartments, has contacted you. So due to its proximity to the Katy Trail, some popular trail in the area, let's say, the owners asked you to evaluate the opportunity for the property, which has some significant unimproved land around it. What opportunity are you least likely to bring up first? And let me tell you what your choices are. Are you going to bring up the opportunity for potential restoration of the property? Maybe, because again, this thing is severely obsolete. So restoring the property might be at the top of the list. How about rehabbing the property? It might be pretty high up on the list. Would we go straight into repurposing the building? That's the one. That's the one you're not going to be, that's your least likely that you're going to bring up. You also have demolition and redevelopment, just tearing that sucker down and starting over. But totally repurposing the property, that's your bottom of the barrel consideration. So repurposing is the thing that's at the last of the list. Let's see, technology company wants to move its production facility from Texas to Texas from Wyoming. What do you think is least likely to be a demand of this technology tenant? Remember, they're producing technology. Do you think they need clean rooms for production? Amen. Yes, they do. Do they need to be situated in an area that's got a good pool of applicants to potentially be employees? Yeah, they're going to need that. Absolutely. How about access to major airports? They might need that, right? How about proximity to a CBD location? Now, look, some of you might actually say yes. Okay, not your answer. All right. So listen, let me just tell you for real, that is a selection on the exam. And I know some of you with a good sense of humor would say, yes, you do. You do need to be next to a CBD shop. That is not your answer, okay? So actually that is the answer that you're gonna give. That is not a consideration. Proximity to a CBD shop. Boy, I tell you, someone had a sense of humor when they put this together. So this is one of the least likely demands, proximity to CBD products. All right, how about you got a client who wants to move over here into an industrial space. They're coming from Cali and they're manufacturing. What kinds of questions are you most likely to ask your potential client here? Would you ask them, and you can yes or no me in the chat here, would you ask them, does the manufacturing process pose any environmental issues? Would that be a question to ask? I think so. How about, are they looking for a LEED certified building? Considering what we just went through in your exercises, absolutely. That was in 2 of y'all's presentations. They wanted a LEED certified building. How about for manufacturing, would you ask them if proximity to a rail or other major transportation artery is important to you? Yes. Now, let me tell you, for the purposes of this exam, because it's all legit, what you would be looking for, okay, my friends, it's going to be A and C. It is going to be, will the processing, the act of processing this stuff that they're manufacturing cause an environmental impact? And is proximity to major rail lines and roadway arteries important. And while we just went through an exercise that said LEED certification was important, no, not for the purposes of this question. So when we're talking about what kinds of questions are you most likely to ask your client, we're not going to go ahead and consider LEED certification. We're not going to consider it. Just proximity to rail and transportation and environmental impact. Boy, there are a lot of ways to read these questions and get the wrong answer. Turnover rate is relative to, turnover rate being high relative to the market does what in your pro forma? What does it do in your pro forma when you're looking at it? What should it do for you? It should hurt. Yes. Raise a red flag. Yes, absolutely. I see. Okay. Turnover rate is high relative to market turnover rates. Okay. That should raise a red flag. I see a few folks going for a different answer based on a key word there. All right. Let's see. You have a client wants to list an office building. They've asked you to evaluate the cost of sale. This client is a foreign client. She's not from here. Which of the following tax consequences might this person be concerned with? Let me give you some choices. Would FERPTA be on the list? Y'all know how I feel about the FERPTA. Would depreciation recapture be on the list? It would. It absolutely would. Would capital gains be on the list? They need to be concerned with all of it. Depreciation recapture, capital gains, and FERPTA. All of those are legit concerns that a foreign investor might be concerned with when selling off their property. All of them. Texas Realtor forms. Excuse me. Which ones may talk about the obligations of tenant improvement construction? Might that be in the lease? It's going to be in the lease. It's in there. Absolutely. Would it be in a lease construction addendum? Of course. Let's see. Would it be in a lease amendment? We're not using that. No, we're not sticking that in there. No. And then how about the lease addendum for optional space? That's not what that form is used for. So when we are looking for construction obligations, it's either in the lease or it's in the construction addendum. You got a dual answer there, my friends. It's in there. If you'll notice, I keep rephrasing the question so you don't memorize them. It's just context. Which form will the parking agreements be clarified in? Will they be clarified in one form or two? And if you know which one or ones, there it is. It's going to be in two of them. It's going to be in the lease itself or in the parking addendum. It's going to be in two different documents. So it'll either be in the parking addendum or the lease itself. The commercial contract critical date list. It's got two elements that you need to keep in mind. It does two things. What does it do? It's optional. And it is not, it's provided as a what to your client? As a service. Erica got it. Absolutely. So keep in mind that it is not a requirement. It is optional and it is given as a service. Okay, so the buyer is going to request from the seller estoppel certificates by certain dates. Where might that estoppel requirement information be located? In the estoppel document itself? Yeah, of course. Would that also maybe be in the contracts for improved property? Yeah, it'd be in there. And how about the contract for unimproved property? Yeah, it would be in there too. It's in all three. All right, so what forms can be used to negotiate assumption? What would we use for assumption? Got a couple choices here. The basic one everyone's familiar with,
financing addendum, and the other one might be your purchase contract. Yeah, purchase contract itself. Believe me, when you see your other choices, you'll know better. All right. Which one of these, which document can be used to stop providing services to someone that you have under a BRA? What document can you use to terminate that relationship? Benjamin is quick on the draw. The addendum to the BRA, or amendment rather, we should say amendment. Yes, it's not an addendum, it's an amendment to the BRA. Let's see. What are we using to co-sign? I'm co-signing on this lease with this business. What are we using to co-sign? It's the commercial what? There it is, the guarantee. We're co-signing with the guarantee. What form are we going to use if the tenant wants to hire a broker to locate a subletter? What are we going to use as a form to lock that down? There we go. Exclusive right to sublease. Exclusive right to sublease. Not exclusive right to lease, sublease. So just be sure you catch that when you're reading the questions. Not lease, sublease. What form can you use to ensure the broker is paid a commission if something you intended to sell gets leased instead? Where is that solidified for you? Chandra, what is the LA? That's going to be in your exclusive right to sell. It's, oh, your listing agreement. My bad. I missed it. The LA. Thank you. I'm there. Your listing agreement should have something in place for you in case it is leased instead of sold. You don't want to do all that work and get nothing. The equity multiple should be which number? The highest one or the lowest one if you're looking at a group? Biggest, the highest. And what is our formula if we're going to run the formula for equity multiple? Is it the bigger number divided by the little one, or the little one divided by the big one? Big number divided by the little one. Just bear that in mind when you see your formula there. Now, turnover rate, vacancy rates are going to be adjusted in which line item on the pro forma? Vacancy turnover rates, base rental income. It will affect your income, absolutely. Okay, now let me go ahead and help you out with this one. What type of analysis requires a lot of self-reflection? Would it be the business plan, the pro forma, your SWOT analysis, or something called your LVAT? The question asks, which analysis, look at my face, I'm winking, which analysis requires a great deal of self-reflection? Your business plan, your pro forma, your SWOT analysis. And to be realistic, yeah, your business plan is personal, but when you're looking at a SWOT analysis, you have to acknowledge where you're weak. You have to acknowledge what's threatening you. And that is why that question is phrased that way. You're doing personal self-reflection here. All right, honoring the opt-out request has to happen in how many business days? How many business days? 10. 10 what kind of days? I'm going to reinforce that one. What kind of days? Business. 10 business days. Not calendar days, business days, y'all. All right, the Can-Spam Act is not applicable to which of the following? Catch what I'm throwing, y'all. Business to consumer marketing campaigns. Is it not applicable to business marketing campaigns? Is it not applicable to email campaigns? Or is it not applicable to, catch what I'm throwing, non-marketing email correspondence? That question is written in a very confusing manner. Not gonna lie, it requires a slowdown on your part. But the Can-Spam Act is not applicable to non-marketing email correspondence. If it's not marketing, then that is not relevant to the Can-Spam Act. If it's not marketing, it's not relevant to the Can-Spam Act. Let's see. Couple more, and let me make sure that my proctors are ready. Proctors, are you guys ready? Diana, Vicky, and crew?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, in about 30 seconds, we're going to send that sucker out because the rest of it we've reviewed to death. Penalties for illegal practice of law can come from which entities? All of them. Every last one of them. TREC, Texas Realtors. And then let me give you one more. Let me just give you one more. And by the way, I don't necessarily give you every single question on the exam, so just be aware you've got to take your time. Which of the following agent statements might be considered misleading? If an agent says properties in this market are selling quickly, if an agent would say, oh, Texas is a growing destination for foreign investors in commercial real estate, or market values will continue to increase 3% a year, which one of those is misleading? It's number 3. The other two are factual, but to say something will continue to increase is misleading. You can say it might, but you can't say it will. Does anybody have any final questions of me, concerns? Proctors, let's do it. You guys have any issues, just go ahead and put it in the chat. We're watching it. I thank you guys. You've been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you all. Bye, guys. Check your emails. Check your emails. And one more time, if you just don't have it, just let us know in the email. Raymond, Candace, I love and appreciate each and last one of you. Matthew, all of the mathematics, just thank you all very much. Thank you. Thanks, Raquel. Thanks. Erica, Gwen.
Bye.
It's just us now, so I turned on the mic. It's just us.
Okay, I removed him.
Yeah, there's one.
I'm on Cheyenne. I'm on the phone right now I'm on hold with Gregory. They're just trying to figure something out.
Okay, amazing. Hey Cheyenne, thanks for letting me know that they were still there, because I've been
What was
trying to catch the two questions that are still RPR related. We're still in
Yeah,
there.
they're still
I've
there, 51 and 52.
Still in there. And I mentioned it in the beginning of class that I was trying to have a few things pulled out for you. But what I will do is if anybody doesn't pass this test by 2, you know what I'm saying? By 2, I'm going to put that on the table for the crew to make sure that they kind of overlook those 2.
I think that's only fair. I'm sure other people may have got it. It just seemed like those 2 just popped out of nowhere because I didn't remember covering that stuff.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Now, Texas Realtors might argue, and I've heard them say this before, it's in the book, you know? And so sometimes people get dependent on instruction to cover every single detail. But because we've done so much to let you know everything that you should expect to see, I can see where people, you know, are like, hey, you didn't talk about it. So at the same time, if I find out anybody kind of struggled by 2 answers, like literally 2 answers made all the difference in the world, I'll send that up. They can look at it. They'll be able to catch that.
Well, I mean, that only sounds fair. I'm just frustrated that it stopped at question 55. If it had got to 59, I'd pull out what's left of my hair, which isn't much.
She, in one of the proctors, I forgot who was saying, I think Gabby or
yes.
Okay, yeah, someone's on the phone trying to, it might be Christine, I'm not sure, but they're on the phone with 2 of the best folks in the department trying to get you some help.
Yeah, it's me. It's Christine. I'm on the phone with them.
So Gabby, technically we're done with your crew. So we're just kind of hanging out for a glitch in technology. So if you need to go, that's understandable.
Alrighty, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Have a
Bye.
good night, everyone. Bye.
Thanks. So Cheyenne, it's just me and you.
Hey, Christine.
Hey, Christine. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess I could turn my camera on.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send the note up.
It's a hell of a way to end up in a threesome, I'll tell you.
Boy, I tell you, I was shocked when you sent that text. I'm like, what do you mean? Isn't it supposed to be saving? So what do you see? Is it like circling and continuing to save or something, or?
Well, it was at first and then it quit. Now it just says, it has the question box at the top. Below it, it has another box and it says, please wait, your answers are being saved. Please wait another 30 seconds. If nothing happens, click here. And then it goes down, there's a box that says important notice. Basically, if you click here, you're going to lose the page will reset and you'll lose your answers for that. It doesn't exactly say if it's that page or if it's the whole test.
The whole thing. Oh, I see the concern. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. They're thinking that it might be, if he clicks on that, it might save the previous pages and he'll just have to start from that page again. But that's what they're trying to find out. Hi, Gregory.
It says you can copy and paste your things, but I have no way to copy and paste. I mean.
Yeah. I think I will go ahead and send that message up to John and the crew to eliminate those 2 answers. Bah humbug. What a shirt. What a fitting moment.
I had another shirt I started to wear. It said, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Okay, Cheyenne. So you have passed the test of with the questions that you have so far. So the only thing you have to do is shut off and you're good to go. So they've got enough answers for you that you have passed the test, and so you don't have to do anything else. So you're good to go. So they
I
were
had no
able to,
doubt.
they were able to retrieve everything that you've done so far up to that question.
I had no doubt I had passed it because I was moving along way too quick. So
Yeah. So yeah, they did an awesome job and was able to retrieve all that. So I'm excited for you because she said, take a deep breath and go have a margarita.
yeah, that's a
Awesome.
good
Thank you.
idea. It's Taco Tuesday somewhere, I'll bet you. So.
Yeah, I bet. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mish. I appreciate it. You're
Okay,
awesome.
so I guess once I log off, we're all done.
Yep,
So,
you're good to go.
Done.
okay, y'all
Okay.
have a great day. Thank you,
Thank
Mish,
you.
for all
Thanks,
your help. Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome. All right.
Bye,
Good night,
guys.
y'all. Bye.